Hey chums, welcome back to a Game with Chums podcast. This time recording in the familiar settings of our own rooms and private abodes, not like our last podcast, which was recorded at London Anime and Gaming Con. But we're back. It's a new sort of setup. But speaking of being back, I'm joined once again by my esteemed colleague, the admirable Mr. Rawls. How have you been? And it's been a while, hasn't it? Like since we've actually recorded a podcast, like I said, in our familiar settings. It was your idea to do the like a little sort of improv podcast at LAGC
On location, as it were.
on location. So yeah, I mean the video quality. I don't know what was up with your camera that day. It was very
I don't
foggy.
know. It's very
Yeah,
weird. It's like in
yeah,
the intro. I think you cut the intro to the LAGC video before it got too bad. But in the
yeah,
intro video when we were recording it, I just got completely fogged out of the image, and I don't know what the hell happened there because it wasn't
yeah.
foggy. It was just very weird,
No,
and did it again during the
yeah,
podcast recording. It's
completely
very
fogged
weird.
up.
Never
Yeah.
done that before or since, so I don't know what the hell was going on there.
Power of editing. I try to cut that out.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, we're back. So quite a few things have happened in the world of video games. Speaking of which, I think I'll just sort of go in straight into our first discussion, which is the failure, the flop that was Concord.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that game was nearly a decade in development, and it released last month, and it got quickly taken offline because it
Got unreleased.
and everyone got their people bought the game, got a full refund. Yeah, but it no longer exists anymore, which is a rare failure for Sony and the
A
PlayStation
rare failure
brand.
for anyone. How often is a game like just yanked like that? I think it
I
was up
know,
for
like
like 11 days or something, wasn't it?
something
That's
like that.
crazy.
It just no one was playing it, no one bought it. It's a bit hard to justify a game like that for full sale. I believe it was like $50, where you can
40, I think, 40 US
40
dollars.
$40, and you can play free to play versions. You can games with and so that's kind of one of its one of the reasons why, not particularly the reason, but one of the reasons why it failed spectacularly. Um, that apparently cost like a cool hundred mil to create.
There's all
So
sorts of numbers out there. I think people are going a bit wild with it. There's one report that was 400 million, which just doesn't seem possible at all, to be honest. That just seems
mm,
complete nonsense, but it's probably at least over 100 million, and they've got to write the whole thing. Well, they've got to write that off, and they've got to give everyone back their money. So they're not going to make a cent on it, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think the price point is a big. It's not the only reason it failed, but I think it's a big thing when you've got people looked at it and went, "Oh, it's Guardians of the Galaxy meets Overwatch," and Overwatch is free to play, and you've got Valorant is free to play, and like Counter Strike's free, and all the Fortnite, all the big shooters that people are invested in are free to
Apex
play.
Legends.
That's Apex.
Mm,
That's the main reason they're so dominant is because the barrier to entry is so low. And they should have just, I'm not saying it would have saved the game, but it should have been free to play. At least,
mm,
you have to get people in the door. The biggest hurdle is to get people to try your game. And
mm,
if it's 40 US dollars, I don't know how much it was here, given how often we get screwed on exchange, it was probably 40 quid here. But asking
mm,
people to pay up money up front for a multiplayer only game that might, I mean, even like best case, it might have been dead in 6 months with hardly anyone playing it. Because that's
mm,
the problem. You launch a multiplayer game, you need to either like catch lightning in a bottle, or your game's just probably going to die after a while. I mean, look at Halo. Halo's free to play this time out, and it still has a reasonable has enough people playing it to keep it going, but it's not like a huge smash like Apex or Fortnite. It's probably making
Mm.
some money. In fact, I think Jez Corden on Twitter today or yesterday said that it's been making some money for a bit. So it's like made back its original development budget and is making money, but it's not like printing money hand over fist like Fortnite. So you have to kind of to give yourself any chance of making any kind of money on this, you have to make it free to play and let people get in and play it. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, because hardly anyone played it. There were estimates that it sold something like 25,000 copies across PC and PS5, which is catastrophic. But the people that were playing it were enjoying it. They were having fun, like those that stuck with it and didn't drop out. So those people are going to be upset, obviously, because again, their enjoying just doesn't exist anymore, and that is going to be upsetting for them. But it's just the good thing is that it's not a good situation for anyone really, especially the development team. But the good thing for like consumers at least is that Sony would just like, here's your money back, and everyone should be getting a refund. I think even like people that bought physical copies at stores are going to be able to return them for full refund. So at least that's something. But it's just
Mm.
a crazy, crazy situation.
So it is, yeah. Also, speaking of PlayStation, the PlayStation Pro was recently announced for a whopping $700. So yeah, that's there's been a bit kind of a mix. I say mostly negative reception to the price, because the price of it is huge,
It's
and
crazy.
yeah, I can't expect anyone to really be forking out nearly $1,000 for a slightly upgraded PlayStation 5. So yeah, that's it's a weird one from Sony. Yeah, it's good that they're releasing the Pro. They always do that, like a refresh. I mean, most of the consoles do, apart from Nintendo, do like a little midway refresh. But to charge that much money for it, for a console that's slightly more powerful, um, it seems a bit ludicrous. There's some noise coming from. Is that from your computer?
No, that's someone playing a keyboard in another room.
Oh, really? Oh, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, no worries. It just sounded really squeaky. It's like, what the hell's that? All right. Um, don't they know there's a podcast happening? Jesus. Our award-winning podcast. Mr. Ross has left the room. No, he's back. They're back. There they are.
Just went to close my door. I didn't realize I'd left it open.
Well,
So hopefully that'll be better.
yeah, cool. Yeah. So, Xbox got their Tokyo. They got a presence at the Tokyo game show, which I believe it is on the 27th, 28th
It is whatever
of
this Thursday is.
27th or 28th.
26th, maybe.
We should really like let's if
20,
we had someone to
26th
fact.
is Thursday, so I think I'm fairly sure it's this Thursday coming.
Okay.
Yeah, Thursday, September 26th, 11
Yeah.
a.m. UK time. So I will be at work and won't be able to watch it.
I don't start work until 1, so I'll probably be able to
You'll have to
watch it,
update me.
and maybe I'll live stream it. Who the bloody hell knows if I could be bloody bothered to
Well, I
live
mean,
stream it?
Tom Warren came out and said it'll be worth watching, so it might be worth live streaming.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Do you expect anything to be announced? There's been a lot of talk about Final Fantasy 16 being announced on the Xbox. Because speaking of which, the sales for Rebirth and 16 fell below PlayStation Square Enix expectations. So that could play a factor in it. Maybe they'll stop bloody doing deals with Sony to have their games exclusive to that console.
Well, they have said that they're going to go more multi-format,
Yeah.
but I don't think it will help anyone for the 7 remake trilogy anyway. I think they probably signed exclusivity for all 3 games
Yeah, I
back
would be
before the first one
surprised.
even came out. So,
Mm,
and people have been saying, like insiders have been saying, don't expect 7 remake at this. It's like certainly don't expect Rebirth, but don't even expect 7 remake at this. So that suggests to me that it's not going to any other console until the trilogy is finished, if at all, to be honest. I mean, what are we now? Nearly 4.5 years since Remake came out, and it's still only on PlayStation as far as console goes. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't even
mm,
run on the Switch, but it's not on Xbox, and it doesn't appear to be gearing up to release on Xbox at any point. So I wouldn't be surprised if it never comes, to be honest. I think
mm,
if it does, it's going to be after the full trilogy has probably been out for a year. But there does seem to be some buzz around maybe like Pixel remasters getting announced with a release date, and then maybe like a mention of 16 coming next year or something. Um, I mean, I'd be happy with that, to be honest.
hmm.
I, I FF16 is the only game that's on PS5 that I want to play, and it's just dropped on PC like 3 days ago as we're recording this. And if I wasn't in the middle of like a massive Dragon Age series replay, then I'd be playing that right now. But as it is, I need to make sure I'm finished all my Dragon Age stuff before Veilguard comes out. So it's just not going to happen. But I mean, if they announce it and say, hey, it's coming out like next March or something on Xbox, I'll be like, cool, I'll hang on for that. And
Yeah,
but yeah, Pixel remasters people seem to think there's a good chance. I think
yeah. I
Jez
mean,
Corden was on the podcast he does with Rand Althor and
yeah,
like suggested those two might get um
he's pretty good at sort of predicting what to expect. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping for Pixel remaster to be announced on Xbox and maybe 16. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for the remake or rebirth to come out. I when remake didn't come out after a year, I was like, oh, they're gonna wait until the trilogy's done so they can have exclusivity over it. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath for that. But talking of a particular game that has been announced recently, the another remake was Silent Hill 2 remake that was announced a while ago, and it's an exclusive for 1 year, console exclusive. We do know it's coming out on PC. That's already been confirmed. So everyone's probably thinking it's going to be coming out on Xbox after a year. Um, so I always thought it was going to be full exclusive for PlayStation,
yeah, they
but
were never
apparently it's
clear
not. No,
about it.
no.
We
But
always knew there was some kind of exclusivity, but they were never clear about it. So
I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, it might be for the Switch or its predecessor," but they're not even announced the new Switch, or who knows when that's coming out. So I probably assume because they did was pretty specific saying console exclusive. It'll be coming to other consoles after a year. Well, I think it is anyway. That's how I interpret it. I think
yeah,
other people, I think fanboys are trying to sort of not trying to say it's not coming out on Xbox. I think it will. I mean, it will after a year, but again,
yeah.
it's one
Well,
of those Sony things where they're sort of paying for the game to be on their platform.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's being developed by Bloober Team, the Polish developers behind the Layer of Fears, Layers
Mm.
of Fear, Layers of
There's a
it's
fair,
Layers of Fear, not Layer of
yeah,
Fears, isn't? Yeah,
fair.
that developer, and they've done similar stuff with Microsoft. Like they had Blair Witch was an Xbox timed exclusive, and the Medium was as well.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that eventually went to PS5.
Mm.
So I think it'll probably be around. They'll probably be around the same terms. They don't seem like they want to sort of sign up permanent exclusives or anything.
It's
But
more
also,
the
obviously, there's a third party involved in Konami
yeah,
who own the Silent Hill IP. So who knows what
yeah.
Konami are going to do with it?
It's more the fact that it's also a well-known IP and beloved game. Um, yeah, the medium were like new. The medium was a new IP. Blair Witch obviously was a film based on the film.
Mm.
Well, but Silent Hill 2 has been long held in high esteem as one of the best games ever made. I do know it's Yahtzee, Crinshaw's one of his top five favorite games, and we all know he's highly critical of every game that comes out, comically. So I know that's his shtick. So I get it, but like sometimes he's like, what does it take to make this guy happy when it comes for a
Silent
game?
Hill
Like,
2.
oh god, it's just like
I
well,
mean, I
every
get it.
game.
I love Silent Hill 2 as well. It's
Mm,
probably in my top, so at least in my top 15, it's a very good game.
mhm.
So I might pick it up on PC. It depends what the remake's like. It looks like they've made it a bit more actiony, which isn't really what Silent Hill's about, but I'll see what the reviews are saying.
Well, Silent Hill is like the later entries have been action heavy focused since they
Yeah,
stopped
that's
being
since they stopped being made
more.
by Team Silent.
Yeah, combat roles and all that shit in it at one
Hmm.
point. But yeah, that's something
Yeah,
to
we'll
look forward
see.
to. Yeah, but going again to Tokyo Game Show. Anything else you reckon they'll announce? Because Phil Spencer did actually do a little short video saying, "Hey, you guys don't want to miss this. Come watch the. We'll be at the Tokyo Game Show." I was
He
like,
didn't even
Phil's
do
doing
his
it here.
usual. He just started off with Konnichiwa. I used to do his
Mm,
Xbox no Phil des, and he's not even bothered to do that this time.
uh,
It's just Konnichiwa. I'm Phil from Xbox. It's like, yeah, I'm not even making the effort for you guys anymore.
mm.
But yeah,
Well, he's like,
I mean,
if you're not buying our console, why should I bloody make the effort?
you got to make an effort to sell the thing, Phil.
Uh,
But,
mm.
but yeah, we've complained about their lack of marketing many times. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If they actually have some Final Fantasy stuff to announce, I'll be happy with that. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, but I didn't get a PS5 this time because Sony's first party stuff didn't really do anything for me last gen. So the fact that they then went and made mainline Final Fantasy games PS5 exclusive this gen really stung. So if we start to get them back on Xbox again, I'll be happy. My
Do
God.
you do you expect any sort of surprise announcements from this showcase from Xbox? Is there any sort of rumors swirling around? Anything that we might not be expecting, or any sort of rumors that are something's coming, or is there going to be like a new studio, something or other? They made a deal. So I know like Phil has been he has talked about wanting to strengthen, sort of expand the brand in Japan, which has been notoriously difficult for Xbox to do
Yeah,
because
and then
of
they went and closed their only Japanese studio.
yeah, I weren't smart. Yeah, no, I weren't clever. They do like some clever. They do some good things, and then they just shit the bed. To, for a choice of a better word, it's not great. So yeah, but hopefully maybe they'll something. Maybe something from Mr. Kojima, his game that he's been working on that no one knows anything about.
OD.
Maybe yeah. So let's see what. Maybe he'll be there
Yeah, he
showing us
seems to
something.
be going full into like marketing Death Stranding 2 recently, so I get the feeling we probably won't see much of that until after. We won't see much of Overdose or whatever it's called until after Death Stranding 2 is out. I think that's the sense I'm getting. But you never know, maybe they'll have something. But yeah, I mean, some Final Fantasy stuff seems to be heavily rumored, so I don't know. It'll be surprising to me because I honestly am not going to believe anything to do with Square Enix and Final Fantasy on Xbox until I see it. I won't believe Final Fantasy 16 is there until I'm actually playing it on an Xbox. Um, but other than that, I haven't really seen much in the way of other rumors. Maybe it's just that because these are the biggest rumors going around, and maybe they're just the ones sucking up all the oxygen.
Mhm.
But but yeah, like a number of people have said that 16 is definitely coming. I think Jez Corden, quoting Jez Corden, he said the whole slate of Final Fantasy stuff is coming at some point, but we'll see. We've already talked about FF7 remake series and how long that's been, and nothing's happened. So I don't know if that's going to happen.
Mhm.
Some people have been like trying to speak a Persona 6 announcement into existence because of the fact that Microsoft have had Atlas at a lot of their shows in the last couple of years. and have had like announcements for stuff like P3 Reload and Persona 5 Tactica and stuff. Those games are announced at Xbox shows, if I remember correctly. But they're not going to announce Persona 6 while they're busy like marketing for the release of Metaphor. So that's
Hmm.
probably not getting announced until next
Hmm.
year. I think that's just people being like doing a bit of wishful thinking. But no,
Yeah.
some smaller stuff would be nice. Like they recently announced that an Atelier game is coming to the Xbox for the first time. So maybe if they wanted to like port some of the older games in that series to the Xbox, that'd be cool. I don't
Hmm.
know. We'll see. See, wait and see what they've got. If they've, hopefully, they've got some good stuff. Like Tom Warren tweeted out that it'll be worth watching. So, but then rumors take on their own life, and they get talked about so much that they become expected. And then if that stuff gets announced, people's going to be like, "Is that it? We already knew about that." It's like, well, you didn't know about it. You just kind of you're expecting it because someone said that it was going to happen. But yeah, I think people read rumors, take them as read, and then when that's the only thing that's announced, get upset. But it's like if the only things that get they could go on and spend 5 minutes just saying, "Oh yeah, Pixel Remasters out next week, and then 16's coming out a couple of months," and I'd be like, "Great, that's enough. That'll do me." But other people have different opinions. But no, I haven't really seen any other rumors of any other stuff. But clearly, it's not just going to be that stuff. They'll have to show other stuff as well.
Hmm.
Trying to think of what they'd showed in previous years. I think last year's was a little bit thin in terms of news and updates and stuff. I don't think there was anything big announced. But they got to announce this stuff somewhere, and this seems like the place to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Um, so I know we keep talking about it, but I'm gonna have to mention it. Um, Recently, some select few influencers or content creators or YouTubers were recently allowed to play about approximately 6 to 7 hours of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Don't forget the. A lot of people just
Please
call it
forget that
Veilguard.
the
No, but I would call it Veilguard. But yeah, and I've watched a couple of the reaction videos to some YouTubers that I watch and respect the opinion of, and a lot of them have been pretty pretty positive on what they've played. Um, I didn't want to. I don't know if it. They all got flown out to the office and wined and dined, and so I don't know. I don't know if a lot of their opinions are going to be weren't didn't have any sort of fact that they were like not bought, but sort of taken out there to play. So
they always get
uh,
taken out, flown out to events like stuff like that with as well.
yeah,
And then
that's the
after a
thing.
while,
But
it
I
just
don't,
doesn't
I
really
don't, I don't, I
compute.
don't really like can trust the like someone who's been taken out and have like, and it's got to be positive, otherwise they won't be invited back again. Like by another company if it's overly negative. But from what I've heard, they've enjoyed the game. Um,
Should
there
also
was a
say it's not just YouTubers and influencers. Press have gone out and had
same thing,
previews as
man.
well.
Same thing. Like press IGN. I don't trust IGN's bloody scoring system anyway.
Well,
They're all over
IGN
the
had a
place.
had a week's exclusive on it as well because they're doing their IGN
Why is
first thing.
why is it like why did they said yes, IGN's the one we wanna give the exclusivities to?
Because
Why
they were
was it
doing it
them?
with who was it? Whatever the website, Game Informer, I think it is, that was owned by GameStop. They were doing all like exclusive coverage with them, and then GameStop closed down Game Informer, effective immediately. So then obviously they had no like exclusive media partner. So they EA stepped, not EA, IGN stepped in. But IGN do that every now and then. They do like IGN first, where they have like a month of exclusive coverage. So they stepped in with that. And then
Mm,
that meant that they could put their impressions up from this press event a week before everyone else. So they
yeah.
had theirs out there for a whole week, and everyone else was Like there was, I was watching Mr. Matty Plays on YouTube, and he was saying, "Yeah, I was at the same event, but I can't say anything for a week. Just gonna have to wait for it." So everyone else just had to kind of sit on their hands for a week.
Yeah, I saw his review. I kind of expected the what he was gonna what he was gonna say. I knew it was gonna be pretty positive. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to find the bad in the game, but it's all very copy and paste sort of reactions and and impressions what these are what people have been saying about the game. And there was one person that was not he had a more of a balanced sort of opinion. He addressed some of the concerns I have about the game and what he disliked, which I pretty much agreed on. But he also had, you give the game praise when it's due. So I quite liked more the sort of a balanced approach because there are concerns I have with the game. Obviously, like the art style, the combat, I think is just something I'm not really like looking forward to. They were saying it's a mix between Assassin's Creed Odyssey and the God of War sort of series, the new reboot. And I was like, I don't really like that, but whatever. I'm sure I'll get used to it after a while. But yeah, so yeah, the game's sounding like it's good. People say it's a return to form for BioWare. It's their Mass Effect 2 moment. Even though like this is the fourth game, so it only took Mass Effect 2 games to get like the one of the best games of all time, apparently, even though I prefer one. But yeah, we'll just have to see. It's out in the 31st, Halloween, for the general public, I think.
Yep.
So it's only like a month and about 6 weeks away now. I'm looking forward to playing it. Will it live up or will it disappoint? Only time will tell. Can only tell when the game's out and you get a chance to play it. And I am cautiously optimistic. I'm going to go in it the same way I went, like when how I the same way like people dislike Dragon Age 2. I quite like Dragon Age 2. I think it is better than Inquisition. I know I keep saying it, but I do think that. I think Inquisition had its moments. I think it ran out of steam halfway through. But yeah, maybe this new sort of mission sort of Mass Effect 2 sort of style missions will sort of play to its benefits, and it will be more focused than it was in Inquisition.
One of the
Inquisition.
things I saw a couple of the previews saying was that they felt like it was structured more like DA2, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, there was at least
Yeah.
two previews I read that said that like called out Dragon Age 2, and I think part of it is because it is like you say, a bit more mission based, and it's not open world like Inquisition was, and it's like it's, apparently the zones are fairly large, but they're like not huge sprawling open areas.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, there's been a couple of previews that said it reminded them of DA2 in a lot of ways, and I was like, that's very interesting because a lot of people hate DA2, but I like it quite a lot, and I know you like it a lot.
Mm.
So it'd be interesting to see kind of where this one falls. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I've I've watched a couple of previews, and then I watched a couple more because I'm very excited for it. But I found myself just completely tuning out of a lot of the stuff I was watching because it was I don't know. In terms of when you're doing a preview, there's only so much like opinion in it. A lot of it's just kind of explaining what they saw and explaining systems and stuff. And when you've listened to one person do that, and then you've got three more people just telling you the same stuff, I just end up tuning out. Um, but yeah, I'd say there were a couple that called out DA2. But yeah, I think the combat looks like it's going to be quite divisive. It looks like they made it more actiony, which might be the right call for like the mainstream, but will also probably alienate some RPG players. But then, I mean, every game is played so differently. It's just like whatever at this point. just make it
Not
fun.
not that much differently. You still had control of your parties. Now they made it two more actiony. Three was a mixture of the Origins and Dragon Age 2, but now they completely overhauled it. This is not. It's they got the slow down the tactical sort of commands where you give commands to each of your squad to attack certain players. It's very Mass Effect, so it is completely like it's they weren't previous three weren't that different in terms of like how the game works. It still sort of used the same sort of basic sort of functions, but now it's completely different. It is like really different. They got like those arrows, or it's targeting you. Like the screen just looks like a big mess sometimes, and I'm just like, whoa, this is a bit much. Hopefully, you can tone down some of that stuff.
I imagine you probably can, because you could
Yeah,
in Inquisition, you could cut quite a lot of HUD stuff down.
and I was just like, well, this is just my way. I'm going crazy. I'm like, my old man eyes can't keep up.
Hmm.
But yeah, hopefully they do. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the characters. Um, it's always good to have the characters make the game for me. So if as long as the characters are good, the stories. I mean, Inquisition story was kind of shit, but Dragon Age 2 story was really good because it expanded like a decade. So it all sort of built up. I like that. That style. It was very unique. The more I talk about it, the more I want to play Dragon Age 2 again. Just because I liked it that much.
I mean, I literally just finished it a few weeks ago. It's still a really good game.
Still holds up, doesn't it? So really, if only they had more time to cook, they could have polished it a bit more, and people maybe liked it a bit more.
And if they could have gone with the original title and like
Exodus,
be able to make it clear that it was like a side game and not like a direct sequel, which they then had to kind of shoehorn it into. I think they had something like 16 months to make the entire game, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And I said this on one of our previous podcasts as well, but it's kind of funny that if they'd have actually let them call it Dragon Age Exodus, we'd now have a series of 4 games where none of them have a number. We'd have had Origins, Exodus, Inquisition, and Veilguard. But now we've got Origins 2, Inquisition, Veilguard. Now it kind of stands out a bit.
Yeah. Indeedy, Mr. Roars, indeedy. There's we're coming to the tail end of the year. Christmas is coming up soon. Where's the year gone? It just seems to have flown past. We got we got I think the last con of the year coming up, which is MCM. But they're doing a joint venture with EGX, so that'll be happening at the same time, same location. I'm
think
not
they've
too
kind
sure.
of half done that before, haven't they? But like that EGX had one side of the XL and MCM had the other, but
You
they're on at the
might
same
be
time.
right. You
I
might
don't
be
think,
right.
but it was you had to get separate tickets, I think.
It might be right. That's going to be a clusterfuck. Then how's that going to work?
We'll
They
find
must have.
out in
There
a
must
few
be
weeks.
There must be like they must have had to halve their tickets. So I know MCM gets really busy on the Saturday, especially on Saturday. So I don't know how they did that. They're not, I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, we'll be there we'll be there on Sunday. Quite looking forward to that. It'll be good. Yeah. Oh, I did want to do like a podcast. Oh, have we done that before? Our favorite con in that. I think we have
We've
sort of
definitely talked
established.
about it. I don't know if we did an entire chat about it, but we definitely talked about what our favorite cons are at some point.
Yeah.
Might have been when we just didn't have a topic.
We don't seem to have many topics these days, isn't it? It's always fly off the like we're sort of just talking in general now.
Well, to be fair, quite a lot of stuff's happened over the last couple of months, so we had stuff to talk about this time without needing to pick a topic.
I don't know.
We haven't even
It's,
touched on
whatever works.
We haven't even touched on Windows Central's latest reporting about the next gen Xbox plans.
And we will after this break. And we're back. Better than
indeed.
ever.
Are we?
Nah, we're not. We're burning. We've reached our peak. That's it. Doesn't get any more better for us than than having people fucking have a go at us for winning One X. Well, not One X. Yeah, it was a One X, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking about that the other day for some reason. I don't know why. It just popped into
yeah,
my head.
yeah. That was back before we even had like 1,000 subscribers.
I think we had like 300 or something.
Something ridiculously low. Yeah,
And people were mad that big
I won.
YouTubers won it.
Yeah, well, some
Funny
people
thing is,
said,
all the people whining about it had their own YouTube channels and they had more subs than us, and they were calling it a fix.
yeah, it's only because you posted like by chance, but you're purchased.
Yeah, the one
Um,
I bought with my own money
yeah, and
on
I
our
just
Twitter
happened.
account.
I happened just to enter a competition without letting you know. I just thought, there's no chance I'm going to win it, but I thought might as well, and I won. And it wasn't just with the shitstorm that happened there.
Fun
Well, it
couple of
was proof
days.
for a couple of days. It was ongoing. I was like, oh my god. But luckily, it didn't happen. Nothing happened. The guy still honored his the fact that I won
After
and
about
sent
three
me.
months.
I had to chase him for that as well. Yeah. Yep. Um. Yeah, but yeah. So what? Anything else you want to that's happened? We should discuss.
Yeah, so there's a story on Windows Central. It's actually about Halo, really.
Uh huh.
With the 25th anniversary of Halo coming up in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
It's from an interview with License Global Magazine, who I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking about how much money Halo's made them and how important it is and all this stuff. Apparently, it's brought in over $1.8 billion in
Mm-hmm.
just like merchandising and licensed products alone, like
Mm-hmm.
completely excluding video games. It's made $1.8 billion. Um, but there's a bit towards the bottom of the article about the future of Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And so it says Xbox's 25th anniversary would, because remember, Halo was a launch game for the original Xbox as well. So those two anniversaries go hand in hand. Xbox's 25th anniversary would fall on November 15th, 2026, which puts it firmly in range of a new generation of Xbox hardware potentially. And goes on to say, let me find the right part. I should have highlighted the correct bit anyway. So Sony just revealed its mid-gen console, the PS5 Pro, which we talked about. And I also want to mention, because you said it was $700, but if you want a disk drive with it and a stand to stand it upright, that's another $140.
Oh, I
And
forgot about that. That's correct. Yeah.
that's without sales tax in the US as well,
Uh,
which isn't included in the original price. So you're looking
uh,
at probably like close over like $900 probably in total. And
mm,
I think the disk drive is $80 over there. It's £100 here. Explain that one. So yeah,
mm,
if you want a PS5 Pro with a disk drive over here, you're paying 800 quid. But anyway,
mm,
Sony just revealed its mid-gen console, the PS5 Pro, which Xbox has passed on competing with this time around. Instead, it seems Xbox is full steam ahead with its next set of console hardware, which we tentatively believe, based on our sources, to include at least both a traditional style successor to the Xbox Series X, so no S and X this time, but one high-powered home console, and Microsoft's first real foray into Xbox handheld gaming with its own take on the Steam Deck. So
interesting.
Phil Spencer has been praising PC handhelds quite a lot in recent months. Um, I think he's posted about the Legion Go and the ROG Ally. Obviously enamored with the things, and that's got people thinking maybe they're going to do an Xbox handheld to the point where every like Xbox event in the last year, people are going, is this where they're going to announce the handheld? Which they obviously haven't done. And again, that's another thing people are saying for TGS. Oh, maybe this is where they announce the handheld because handhelds would be more likely to break into Japan. Don't think they're going to do that at TGS, but it seems like this might actually be a thing, an Xbox handheld. So that
Mm,
should be interesting. I mean, I have a Steam Deck and an ROG Ally, and I really like both of them. I'm pretty much fully in on PC handhelds at this point. I think they're great. So I'm interested in seeing what Xbox wants to do with it. But then, are they going to make it an Xbox handheld, or is it going to be a Windows handheld that can play like your PC Game Pass games? That's the question.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not got a Steam Deck or anything like that, so um, not really big into the handhelds at the moment. Obviously, Switch, that's a handheld. Also, it's a hybrid. I don't really play that much. I used to play it a lot when it first came out, and now it's just all gathering dust now. Still
Yeah, I don't
waiting
think I've
for
played
the
mine in 2 years at least.
yeah, still waiting for the predecessor. Who knows when that's going to happen? But yeah, I'll be interested in an Xbox or Windows. I think it should be an Xbox handheld. Really, I think they should start pushing that a bit more. Like, not just make it a Windows handheld, because then what's that? A tablet or something like that? Come on now, let's have a proper console Xbox sort of handheld focused piece of hardware. Let's do that. Let's go down that route. Let's sort of, hopefully it'll be something like that. Who knows when they're going to announce it? If there's rumors about it, maybe there's not any sort of Xbox sort of events coming up apart from Tokyo Game Show. I don't think there's anything been announced, or there is no rumors of a sort of a direct or something like that coming up for the end of the year. I think they've done it all. There's going to be one that probably will be in next year sometime. Um,
Probably beginning of the year they'll do like the
mm,
developer direct that they've done the last couple of years.
yeah,
But that'll be like February, March, I think that they've been somewhere around there.
probably going to announce more games coming to PlayStation, eh? Good.
Yeah, like
Okay, now,
TGS, not
yeah,
TGS, Gamescom.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bloody Indiana Jones coming, so slap in the face, isn't it? It's like, oh, can we get Wolverine then? Why is that a bloody PlayStation exclusive? When we have that, why is Wolverine like a PlayStation exclusive?
The worst thing is they did
Oh,
it as the one last thing at the end of the show, like it was a big deal, and it's like how to make yourself the laughing stock of Gamescom in one easy
yeah,
step. There you go, do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Really stupid, really dumb, and not great. Not a great look for the company as a brand. If they're one of their big new shiny exclusives are coming out to their biggest rival, doesn't look good. Not good at all. But speaking of the hardware, like the actual next Xbox, so they're ditching the S and they're just looking for
Yeah,
one more powerful
it sounds
console.
like the handheld is going to be like the S Play this time, like a
Mhm,
lower powered. I mean, it'll be lower powered, but it won't be cheaper like the S was. Windows handhelds aren't cheap. Um, I think the ROG Ally came out at 799, and I only got it because it dropped down to 549, and I had some money
mhm,
coming. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spent that much on it. But maybe they're gonna like subsidize the cost of it more, like Steam does with the Steam Deck, because they know 99% of the time people are just going to buy the games in Steam, and then they get 30% cut on everything. Xbox will probably look to do that as well. But I don't know. I think there's pros and cons whichever way they want to do it. If they make it literally a portable Xbox, then that kind of opens the door to like being able to do back compat stuff on there as well. So you could have your Series X, S, whatever, your Xbox One games, potentially your 360 and your OG Xbox games back compat, which would be pretty cool. Um, like I've got some emulators on my ROG Ally, and I've got a couple of OG Xbox games on there, and it's pretty fun to play those games on the handheld. So if they want to go that route, they could do that, which would be cool. Or if they wanted to make it a Windows handheld, like the ROG Ally and the Legion Go are, kind of opens it up to everything. You could have the Xbox PC store on there, but you could also have Steam and Epic and EA app and everything as well. But then obviously that means they're not making money on any transactions you make in those stores. So who knows? Be interesting to see what they do anyway. I'll certainly keep an eye on it. But Sarah Bond has previously said the next gen hardware will be like the biggest technological leap we've ever seen, generation to generation. So it sounds like they're planning for something powerful. But the PS5 Pro coming out at this is a mid-gen refresh coming out $200 more expensive than the base version of the console that came out 4 years prior. Hardware's not getting cheaper, it's getting more expensive. So if they're going to go and build a monster Xbox for the next gen, how much is that going to cost? Are they going to just like look to go super premium and just be like, yeah, we know nobody's buying our consoles anymore, but hey, if you want the most powerful, here you go, have an $800 Xbox and you've got the best hardware or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because if their user base is cratering, which it is because they're making stupid decisions, um, then what's the next step they take? And that's to monetize more the users that they do have. So sell them more expensive hardware, get them lodged into higher tier subscriptions, stuff like that. I don't know. It's a weird space for Xbox to be in where they're getting more support than they've had in a long while in some ways, like especially in Japanese games, like we're getting all the Yakuza games now. We're finally getting like Atelier games. Tales of series is back on the Xbox in a big way. Looks like Final Fantasy's coming back, but Xbox seem to be intent on killing their console platform at the same time, so it doesn't really make much sense. So everyone's very confused about what they're doing. And
I
there are a
don't
lot
even
of
think
people that
Xbox
think,
knows what they're doing.
well, no, I don't think they do either
No.
to a certain degree.
Mm.
But I mean, there are a lot of people that don't think they're going to make new hardware. They've explicitly said they're going to, but do you believe them at this point?
Fuck no. No, not really. Not at all, mate. Not at all. Well, anything else? Or are we good to leave it there for this episode? It's not a long one. We sort of been shortening down a bit. Like the last podcast was about 25 minutes, but we were doing it
To be
outside
fair, we
in
were,
noisy
yeah.
in a
And we didn't
noisy
plan for it at all. We just went, let's just do this.
yeah, freestyling it, man, with
Hmm.
with people making as much noise as possible. Well, they weren't too bad. There was a few door slams and stuff like that, but we
Hmm.
had your snazzy lapel mics, which sort of cancelled out more of the background noise and picked our voices up nicely. So that was good. But yeah, we're gonna try and get back onto a more of a sort of schedule. We were releasing the podcast every fortnight, every 2 weeks. If you don't know what fortnight means, it's not the
Yeah, it's
video
not
game,
just
by
a
the way.
game.
Yeah, it is an expression we use here. Um, but yeah, we hopefully we'll get back to doing it every fortnight, and yeah, just get bad. But things happen, man. You know, life happens. You know, things get in the
Life finds a
way.
way.
Life finds a way, as Dr. Grant said in that film, Dinosaurs in a Park.
From 31
Uh,
years ago.
yeah, a long time ago. Still a great film, but yeah. And then they hasn't been a really good one since, I don't think.
No, there hasn't.
No, I mean, Lost World was okay. Jurassic Park 3 was shit. The new rebooted ones are just that reboot, sort of remake sort of style. That's what Hollywood does these days. Takes a beloved franchise and then just sort of do a soft reboot
There's too
and
much Chris
then
Pratt
just
in the new ones.
yeah. You don't like Chris Pratt. You
I
don't
don't
like you don't
dislike him, but
you don't. You always bring up the fact that Chris Pratt's in things and don't
I
seem
like
to.
him as Star-Lord, but that's kind of about it.
Mm, well, at least you like him in one role. Um, but yeah, anything coming up? I know you've been releasing a series of videos every Friday celebrating.
Sort of every Friday.
You
I
didn't do
was
it last
away for a
Friday. You
week.
were away. Yeah.
Yeah, so I skipped one, so I'm going to have to catch up because I scheduled them to go up one a
Mm-hmm.
week until Ease 10 comes out. So now if
Mm-hmm.
I just keep going one a week, they'll be a week late. So I'm going to have to put three in a week to catch up. So there'll be another one going up probably midweek, maybe around the same time as this is going up actually.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
all right. It's all right, man. Like, not many people are watching it anyway. If you listen to
yeah,
this, give it a watch. The games are good, and Mr. Oz, they're doing all the games until the release of 10.
Yeah, it's very much like our Final
Mm.
Fantasy series we did back
Yeah.
in 2017. If you watched that, where we just did like the opening hour of every game in the series as like a
Mm.
celebration of the series. Um,
Mm.
but with the Ease series, which is a lot more
Mm.
niche, but also very good. So if you've been curious about those games, go and check it out. There's
Mm-hmm.
4 up now,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be another 6 to come before Ease 10 comes out. So yeah, give them a watch, and maybe it will make you want to buy Ease 10 because it looks like it'll be a fun time.
Runtime had by all. Um, my content is just a bit more random. I'm just doing a lot of Game Pass stuff. Um, I do want us to get back to playing like co-op games. I think they were pretty fun. I think it's better when we're both doing a video together. It's a bit
Yeah,
more sort of back and forth. You have to sort of one can talk while the other was doesn't, and it's just not a little dead air. When you're by yourself, you got to sort of try and make your commentary slightly entertaining and funny and informative. And I find it can be difficult to do it on your own, especially if you're not really engaged in the game. The game sort of, or there's a lull in the game, or there's some sort of slow part. You sort of got to sort of just talk, and sometimes that can be a bit tricky on your own because you're just like, oh, not much happening. Oh God, what can I say here? But yes, we've been doing this for a while, so I think we've gotten better at it. I do think I prefer the days of getting a bunch of us together and just recording it in one room,
yeah, it's
and
more
just drinking beers.
spontaneous.
It was a lot more fun, and you had more. There was the three of us at the beginning. Then we had some our friend Nikki.
Occasionally 4.
She would pop in occasionally, and it was just good to have like the sort of banter, sort of the other people's perspectives, the laughs. It sounded more. I was watching a few of the older ones. I was like, it sounded like we're having a really good time there, really good. It didn't last long, but it sounded like we were having a good time, and then it we couldn't keep doing it forever. That wasn't really possible, I think. But I think at the beginning, the first few months, I found it fun.
It
We,
was good fun.
yeah, it was good fun. Meet up, grab some drinks, grab some snacks. One thing I wouldn't do again, though, if I could, was not eat on camera. I know we keep saying it, but it doesn't sound good. Especially when our mate was having his bowl of cereal there. It's just like I was hearing it. I was like, oh God, he's having a
It's
bowl of
9
cereal
it's
there.
9 p.m. cereal.
Cereal and or eating nuts. I think when we started putting restrictions, you can't do this, can't do that, you can't say this, kind of like maybe that sort of killed some of the vibe. But we didn't know much. I don't think the apocalypse happened then, where everyone was sort of getting demonetized.
Mm.
There was more restriction. There's now more restrictions on sort of things you can say and the content you can say, or the videos, I should say. But yeah, it was a lot more fun, and I kind of like feel like when we do our co-op sort of videos, it's
It's a
the
bit
two of
more
us,
like
but
that.
it's a bit more like that. But we did start. We were recording like at your place at one point. I would come over, and we will do like a bunch of videos together. And then lockdown happened, COVID. That sort of changed everything really. The way we did it, we had to sort of make our own stuff and sort of do
That's
our
the
own
thing.
thing.
I think we were
Yeah.
coming up on the end of our Plague Tale Innocence.
Mm,
Um, what we were doing a let's play of that where we were like
yeah.
one of us would take control for like 20 minutes and then we'd switch up and stuff like that. And I think we were probably like an hour or two away from the end of the game, and then lockdown happened, and then we just never got back to it.
Yeah, it's one of those like we haven't finished Halo Infinite. We get becoming a kind of like an incomplete Let's players, aren't we? I mean, would I
I
even
mean,
say
I've
we're?
abandoned about 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, I have. I abandoned Battlefield 2 because I was just getting so annoyed with it. I wasn't really enjoying it. I thought I'd play it because it's a short game, the campaign. What about 6 hours, 7 hours? Well, I'll do this on my own. And at one point, I was just like, oh, this is just getting on my nerves. Fuck it. No one's watching it anyway. I'm just going to abandon it. But I do think like our videos where we're playing together do better. Especially like our Halo series, we were and our Gears of War, which we've done the whole series apart from Judgment. Maybe we'll do that for the remake of one. No, it's not a remake of one. It's a
Prequel,
prequel.
B-Day.
Prequel. Yeah. So probably, hopefully, do a video for that, man. You know, obviously we'll play it on our own, but then we'll hopefully can do like a little let's co-op of that because I think there will people want to hear both of us. So one. Would I even call ourselves a let's play channel?
Not
We
really. We don't.
not
We kind of
really.
started off that way.
No.
Well, the first
Then
stuff we did was just like one-off stuff, and then we decided to do some
all
Let's
let's
Play
plays.
stuff. We did that for a
Uh,
bit, and then we just started abandoning them halfway through.
yeah. I mean, yeah, with streaming, it's sort of like made let's play sort of more redundant. I know some people prefer that sort of format, but yeah, and then we sort of done more vlog, more podcasting, that sort of type of content we make. I would
And
like
then
to
just
try
random
out.
stuff.
I would like to try some other stuff as well. Like I did like the fact that we did that Final Fantasy quiz. I thought that was a different sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
I
I
keep
was
thinking about the quiz and how we could do it better. We'd have to do it in person, really,
I
because it
mean,
was like
we
there was
did
too
that
much
during
lag.
we did that during lockdown, I think. So
Yeah,
it's still,
there was too much lag there, like buzzing in to answer a question and
I wouldn't
over
do. I would
communicating.
get rid of the buzzer. I would just do multiple choice. Let you guys choose the answer, or just give see if you can come up with the correct answer. It doesn't matter who answers first. It just accumulates the points. If you both get it right, you get a point each. You know that sort of thing. Just do it that way. Yeah, I was thinking about doing something, maybe something like that in the future. It's just the point of trying to get people to do it with us as well now. But
Mm.
the chat, the maybe reaching out to YouTubers who or because we were going to do like a video with the two gaming dudes until their channel got terminated for because they were playing a lot of lewd games. There was talk of us doing one together because we were similar sized channels, and they're from the States. Obviously, us being Brits would have been a good sort of dynamic to have us go with them. But we're incredibly awkward and shy, so it didn't really go
You
through.
already said we're British.
Yeah, there we are. So that, well, but maybe like maybe we'll do a sort of collab with someone, but not really reached out with anyone to sort of no one really sort of reaches out to us anymore to sort of talk and stuff like that. It was like that when we first began. There were a few channels creators I was talking to, and some of them don't even upload anymore. So yeah, there you are.
Got sick of
We'll
the
see what
grind.
happens. Got sick of the grind, man. I got sick of
I
the
can
grind.
understand it.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. You do one video and it does fairly well. You do one another video and it does really well, and then
Your
you
next one gets
expect
three views.
that consistency to sort of being maintained because you've got you've got an audience, but we're mostly known as as a con channel.
The LAGC channel.
We are known as them. People we have met a few people over the LAGC have spoken to us, known us as the con channel. We watch our videos to see
Yeah.
what the cons like. We did speak
What
to
was it,
one
four
nice
times last time? Four people
yeah, we did speak
last
to
time?
one girl who did actually watch our other videos. Did watch LAGC, but she also talked about other like content and then like as well. I think it was a girl. Was it the girl? Or was it the guy I interviewed? It might have been the guy. But yeah, we might do more interviews. You know, I think that's good to have a different perspective on the thing. Maybe we'll ask people, what do you like about the con? What your favorite? Who you if they're cosplaying? Who your cosplay? Tell us about it. That
Yeah, I
sort of
feel like
thing.
it could be a good idea to get con guys involved in the video more.
Yeah, maybe they
I
can.
think that'd be cool because it is a very kind of community focused con LAGC.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good place to start as well because it's not as hectic as nowhere near as hectic as MCM.
Mm.
So I think that'll be a good place to cut your teeth. And we are not really well known there, but we do get comments and people talking to us. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. We'll wait and see. But anyway, I think that's a good place to leave it there. We can go on about the trials and tribulations of being a YouTuber and trying to build yourself an audience, because it's some people, they get it like that. It seems like if you want to be sort of a YouTuber, you got, it seems more shock than anything. Shock and dare and pushing boundaries, being an arsehole, basically. That's what seems to be a loudmouth arsehole on YouTube. That seems to be what resonates with certain people, especially the younger generation now. So yeah. But anyway, anything else you got to say, Mr. Ross? Anything you got? You got your, you do. We did mention you got a new, you got a ongoing series happening.
Yep, go watch it.
Go watch it. What's the name of this, the game or the series?
Series is called Ease.
Ease. So yeah, so go and watch that. Maybe we'll put a link in the description. Well, wait. Well, who knows? Maybe I won't even bother. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. This this podcast is available on all good podcast streaming platforms, apart from Apple Music. And one other thing before I go, I did, as an egotistical person, sometimes I did type in a game with Chums, and because my phone has the new AI assistant, it came out with the AI description of our channel, which was quite funny. I was like, "Oh, power! This is the AI." It's like who's described us. So that was quite weird. We're a bunch of nerdy otakus who do podcasts.
Is that
Mostly
what AI
refer
said about us? That's not very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So yeah, we're podcasters apparently. So, but anyway,
Well, we
thanks
have
for
a
watching.
podcast.
We do, yeah, but maybe that's
We're
what
on it
it's
right
trying to say.
now.
Maybe that's what it's trying to say. Like, because the podcast is available on a lot of pretty much every streaming platform, so that's probably where it's getting all its information from. Like, oh, they're here, they're there. There you are. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And if you like our channel, why don't you just give it an old subscribe, and we'll be eternally grateful. Mr. Ross will personally go to each person's house and give them the thumbs up. There you go. All right. We'll see you again next time. See you later, guys.
See you.
Bye. Doom.